of the Technion, Professor Peretz Lavi, Minister of Education, Member of the Knesset, Naftali Bennett, Mayor of Haifa, Yona Yahav, Mr. Avi Balashnikov, Professor Bei Natan, Technion Management, members of the Board of Governors, faculty members, students, and dear guests. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the dedication of the Ronald S. Lauder and Joe Carroll Lauder Student Dormitory in the Undergraduate Student Village. My name is Omer Amit. I am the chairman of the Technion Student Association, and I am delighted to be your master of ceremonies today. Other than being a chairman, I am an undergraduate student in the Faculty of Industrial Engineering and Management in my 4th year. I am a major in reserve duty and married to Einav and father to 10-month-old Gili. Here you see the beautiful building that form the Undergraduate Student Village. Dedicating a new dormitory is an exciting and important time for us, the students. This specific project serves the students as not only a place to sleep and study, but also as a place for recreation. We, the Technion and its Student Association, try the best we can to make the Technion a second home for the students. The time we spend on campus has a big impact on our lives. And this goes far beyond just the time we spend studying. It's the social event we throw on campus, it's our cultural life, and of course, the facilities we use or live in. The new residents of the village will enjoy wonderful apartments, designated study spaces, new laundry rooms, and culture halls. All of that in a fantastic location, close to the heart of campus and within easy reach of vital services, just steps away from bus lines and the main gate. The village allows Technion students to enjoy a pleasant environment and relieve them from the substantial financial burden associated with off-campus housing solutions. In the name of the students of the Technion, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Lauder, for providing this home away from home and enabling us to invest our time and energy on our studies and research. I would like to invite Professor Peretz Lavi, President of the Technion, to deliver his words.
Thank you, Omer. Mr. Bennett, Minister of Education, Mayor Yona Yahav, Mr. Avi Balashnikov, the representative of the Lauder family, members of the Board of Governors, faculty members, students, dear guests. Home is where your heart is, goes the popular saying. Luckily for Technion students, home can be also right where your laboratory is, or where your class is, right here on campus. We are delighted and grateful to be inaugurating today the Ron and Joe Carroll Lauder Dormitory on the Technion campus. This is a great day of celebration for us. We only regret that, unfortunately, due to unexpected circumstances, Ron and Joe Carroll couldn't be with us today. I just spoke with Ron on the phone, and he conveyed his best wishes, and he hoped to be here in the near future. From here, we send our thanks from the bottom of our hearts for their magnificent gift. One might ask, what's the big deal in inaugurating a dorm building? This is a world-class scientific research university. It's all about sophisticated equipment and advanced technology, right? So what's all the excitement about beds and refrigerators and desks and showers and laundries? Sure, it is about the labs and computers, but most importantly, it's about the people. The students and the faculty who make the university what it is, a powerhouse of knowledge and discoveries. And they certainly need a good night's sleep. This is coming from the expert. The Technion is proud to be the Israeli university with the largest number of dormitory beds in the country. And in fact, the total number of beds in all other universities combined is smaller than the number at the Technion, which is close to 5,000 beds. We know for a fact that having quality dorms on campus is a very significant component of student life, demonstrated by the fact that the students ranked the Technion as the best in Israel with respect to students' services and quality of life on campus. We also know that our students here at the Technion invest very long hours in their studies and study harder than students in other universities. Therefore, we feel they deserve the best. And that's true for all our students. It is explicit policy to open dorms to all students, practicing what we preach in terms of diversity and equal opportunity. Dear Minister Bennett, or Naftali, may I call you, you are part of the family here. The Technion plays a major role in closing the socio-economic and cultural divides in the Israeli society, increasing the number of dormitories where students, Jews and Arabs, Israeli-born and new immigrants, religious and secular, live side by side and pay the lowest rent in Israel is crucial to achieve these goals. I call upon the government to allocate more land and more financial resources to both colleges and universities to build dormitories and other needed student services. They should also help the academic institutes to facilitate the regulatory procedures needed for such construction. This may provide at least partial solution to the pressing housing problem in Israel. And what a great honor indeed for this wonderful new dorm building to be given to the fine students of the Technion through the generosity of Ron and Joe Carroll Lauder. We have been following the inspiring, diverse career of Ron for decades, from hugely successful business ventures to political activism and diplomacy, from expert art appreciation and cultivation to deep dedication to Jewish causes ranging from rebuilding Jewish communities in Central and Eastern Europe to activism and leadership of the Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations. The National Jewish Fund, the World Jewish Congress, and the American Jewish Joint Distribution Committee, always a visionary leader, always a generous, determined supporter of causes aligned with the Lauder family values. We thank you as philanthropist, humanitarian, dear Ron and Joe Carroll, from the bottom of our hearts for your generosity and kindness. The Technion Dorm is a great cause to support and is deeply appreciated. This grand building will serve our students well for many years to come, and we assure you, as business people, investing in Technion students is the best return on investment ever. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Lavie. I would now like to invite Minister of Education, Member of the Knesset, Mr. Naftali Bennett.
Professor Peretz Lavie and his wife, Mayor Yona Yahav, Avi Balashnikov, and of course, faculty and friends. What a great way to start a day. You know, Israel as a startup nation is breaking its own records year on year. Got to give you one figure, which is pretty remarkable. In 2013, the startup investment in Israel, right? Investment in Israeli startups was $2.5 billion. By 2016, it went up to $6 billion of investment in Israeli startups. That's the equivalent of new startup investment in all of Europe combined. That's second only to the United States on the East and West Coast, in Boston, New York, and of course the Valley. The Technion has been central from the very start and way before the very start of the Israeli startup miracle. The core, the DNA was here all along and still is. But the secret of the Technion has been to be part and parcel of Israel's vision, of Israel's society, to understand Israel's unique challenges, and to take part. Technion is no ivory tower. It's very dedicated, and Professor Lavie certainly shows it in deeds and not only in words, how much he cares for Israel. So for example, bringing in the non-Jewish population into high-tech, we're still having a hard time there for many reasons. Geography, culture, prejudice, which there is still a degree, unfortunately, but we're getting over it. And the Technion has such a fundamental position in solving this problem and doing an amazing job. Just this year, we worked on getting a very young, I think she's a 10th grader, an Arab young woman in 10th grade. She'll probably be the next Nobel Prize winner. And She got in by her own deeds, but we had to solve some bureaucracy. Bringing the Haredi community in, which I think is even a tougher task than the Arab community, which is already on a good trajectory. The Technion has been the pilgrim, the pioneer in bringing Haredim into high-quality studies so we can see more Haredim, ultra-Orthodox Jews in high-tech. When I was a high-tech CEO, a startup CEO, honestly, I didn't see any Arabs or any Haredim. This was about a decade ago. We have to change that. We have to change that because there's this amazing economy and there's the rest. Half of our exports are high-tech, but only 10% of our employees are high-tech. We need to pump it up to 20%, to 30%. It's no secret I'm working very, very hard on STEM in the education system to encourage hard work, effort, stamina, creativity, depth. Because you get all of that out of science. It's tough. No one promised it to be easy. Science is tough. It's mostly hard work. And there are moments of ingenuity, but most of the time it's just darn hard work. And you know that better than anyone because in the Technion, students work hard, which is why having semi-hotel dorms is exactly the right thing. So we can sort of tell the students, you have this rare period in time where you can focus solely on science, on learning, on exploring, and your logistics will be solved. As a student myself, I chose the wrong thing to learn, law, bad. But as a student, I recall how much I had to run around, work in order to rent out a tiny, we took a miklat, a shelter, split it into two with this carton thing, and each side paid $300 a month. And then you had to go work. So when you have this, it means that the folks can work hard, but on the right stuff, on their core competency, which is science. Also here, the Technion is the pioneer. I want to thank Ronald, Joe Carroll, for doing this, because here what we're doing is quite literally putting roots in the ground, at the same time building an amazing future. So I just have one request from you folks, from the faculty here. Keep it up. Continue being Israel's tower and pillar of light. Continue bringing in Arabs and Haredim and everyone. Continue reaching out to the periphery in order to really give a fair chance to everyone in Israeli society, and we'll be there for you. Thank you very much. Toda rabba.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bennett. To all of my professors complaining about me not working hard enough, I have an approval from the Minister of Education. I would like to invite Mayor of Haifa, Mr. Yona Yahav, to the podium.
He invited me after the minister also to declare that I learned the wrong profession. He invited law. Therefore, he and myself, we are not working in the profession. So boring. Your Excellencies, dignitaries, this is an historic moment because one of the most important Jewish families, the Lauder family, decided to plant roots in the soul of Haifa. They are doing a hell of a lot for the Jewish people throughout years and ages. I think that they are one of the cornerstones of the Jewish people. But they have never been here before. And today, this is the first sign which the family is showing that they are choosing Haifa. And they have chosen the right place, the Technion. The Jewish people will be internal only through studies. If we shall expand our universities, our schools, deepen the studies in the schools, we shall buy more years as a nation. This city is the center of universities. We are mounting up to 300,000 inhabitants, but 45,000 students. We have 2 big universities and 10 colleges. We have 10,000 student dormitories, flats, part of which the city built. We are very interested, this is part of our main policy, to back the universities, to back the Technion, to enlarge the number of students. Our job is not only to give them good conditions, but to connect them to the city. We have a very big high-tech industry here, and we were the first to launch it. But as usually, everything leaks to the center of the country. We are the only country in the world which is trying to base its economy on one center. It can't work. If we want to disperse our efforts, like the first Zionists did, to the north and to the south, this is the end of the play. And you who are so committed to us, and so committed to the city, to the Technion, and to the country, you have to push it that the people should wake up from their dream and come back to the first Zionist notion, which was to disperse efforts to the north and to the south. And they did it through very awkward systems, but it was justified. We are trying to develop. We are having now the biggest numbers of inhabitants ever. We have the biggest number of youngsters. But we want to cause these people who are living here to stay, to look for the opportunities for the future here. It's of utmost importance. If today in the north there are only 21% Jews, we lost the game. And I'm saying it not to the audience, to the minister, because he originated from Haifa. Therefore he's sweet, therefore we love him. He has very good foundations. This is the only place on earth which is exercising on a daily basis full peace between Jews and Arabs more than 100 years. Don't ask me why it happens here. It doesn't happen in Akko, 15 minutes away from here. Usually, and I know that the president is quoting me, I'm saying that we are lucky that 3 celebrities never set a foot here. Who are the 3 celebrities? Moses, Muhammad, and Jesus. They never came here. Nothing is holy. We have nothing to quarrel about. We have no disputes. And the first mayor of the city in 1900 onwards was a Muslim. And he decided to embrace the Jewish community, which was very tiny, 6,000 people only. And 60,000 Arabs were here, mostly Muslims. And since then, and he paved the road on which I'm the 10th mayor since him, we are walking on. We are doing the same what he did. And it works. Now I'm being asked to go to all the cities in Europe which are hosting immigrants to explain them why it works here. And usually it won't work over there. We know the business. We know how to live. We know how to give everybody his place. And you see that the Technion is doing it in a very rapid way. And now, we are different because you remember what the minister has mentioned about the Haredim, but he didn't mention that the rabbis here gave them the permission to go to the Technion. But you know what is unique? He gave permission also the women to come here, the Haredi women. But he gave, and this is unexpected and also unprecedented. He gave the rabbi here, the Admor, the rabbi gave a permission to the non-married women to come here. This is something unbelievable. But it's possible because it's Haifa. The last story I'll tell you, 2 weeks ago I was in the memorial of Dakar. We lost a submarine on the way to Israel, and every year we have here a memorial ceremony in which we are throwing a wreath to the water. And we were standing on the submarine in the middle of the sea, and who is giving me the wreath? The Rassar, how you say Rassar in English? The sergeant major of the submarine is handing me over the wreath. Who is the sergeant major of the submarine? A Haredi from Haifa. He comes with the tzitzis and with the payas, with a white uniform, and he is giving me the wreath. When we get on the shore, the lieutenant colonel is asking me, do you know this person? I said, I know him. Do you know the story about him? I said, no. In the last Independence Day, he was declared to be the best soldier by the chief of staff. And was a very big ceremony in Jerusalem. And in the moment his name was called to come to the stage to shake the hands of the chief of staff, the whole audience got up and applauded him. So when he got to the stage, the chief of staff is getting near to him and said, where are you from? He said, from Haifa. Okay, so I understand everything. And I want you to understand everything.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yav. And now I'm happy to invite the students' representative in the management, Professor Bein Natan, Dean of Students.
Thank you, Omer. President Lavie, Mr. Larry Shakir, Minister of Education Bennett, Mayor Yona Yav, Mr. Avi Balashnikov, dear board members, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. There are two major rights for every citizen. The first right is the right for free health care. The second right is the right for education. I would like to say free, but this is a political question, so I'm not getting into it. What distinguishes the Jewish people is one thing, that we are Kol Israel Arevim Ze Leze, which means that all Israel are responsible for each other, all the people. We share a solidarity. And this is where the Lauder family comes. And all their donations, their contributions to the Technion, they made us what we are today. And you can see these excellent buildings where students will live and will work hard, and they will succeed. And this is due to them and to all the other people that contributed a lot to make it happen. Yes, we are the startup nation. We have contributed to the world in many aspects, in medicine, in technology, in everything. But the secret is that we take care of each other, and not just each other, because Israel is the place where people can live together. And Mr. Bennett, you know that you are a startupist yourself. Diversity is the key to the success of every startup. So if we can combine all forces, all the people that live in Israel, everything was mentioned here, the Haredim, the secular, the religious, the Arabs, everyone. If everything is combined, then we will succeed as a nation, and in everything will be a treasure to the humanity. We already are, but will be more. And these buildings that we can see here, I entered many times, and I saw the rooms, I saw the facilities. These are amazing buildings. I have been a student myself many years ago. I know how difficult it was, and I know how the students can live well together in these buildings, in this excellent institution, the Technion. So, Haifa, the Technion, Israel, everything goes together. I thank you all, and thank you the Lauder family and everyone else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Natan. We will now enjoy a performance of a folklore dance. Please welcome the Technion Students Dance Group for a short performance. Thank you, guys. As you all can see, the Technion students not just calculating the mess, but also moving with the bass. And now, for the unveiling of the plaque, I would like to invite Professor Lavi and Mr. Avi Balashnikov. Mr. Balashnikov, I invite you to respond.
Good morning, everybody. I believe that sometimes there is things that it's connected with timing, with combination, with atmosphere. Yeah, sometimes things happen that that you even don't think about them, but it's happened. And I think that this Ronald and Joe Carroll Lauder student dormitory, it started, let's say, 3 years ago. 3 years ago, the Lauder family arrived to Israel, and Ronald and Joe Carroll told me that they want to come and visit in Haifa, in the Technion. I said, you want to come and visit the Technion? Why? We heard a lot about the Technion, and we want to visit there. They arrived with the children, with the grandchildren. And we came here 3 years ago. And I can tell you that after that, I heard from Mr. Lauder and from Joe Carroll the word, we love the Technion. Exactly like this, with the accent. We love the Technion. So they sent me here, and I'm sitting also at the board of director here, I think already for board of council for 3 years already. And this is one of the things that I'm doing and I'm so proud of. As you know, in my previous life, I was for many years, I was the CEO of the Israeli Parliament, the President House, the CEO of the Ministry of Telecommunication, etc. And but this is something that I'm doing, and I'm so proud that I'm here. It doesn't matter that in 1987, Professor Lavie, I tried to study here, but you know, I got the letter from the administration and says, "You are not clever enough. We're so sorry." Anyway, but you know, time and sometimes God give us surprises, etc. But I'm so proud to be here. You know, in Lauder Foundation, the family Lauder are doing a lot of things that connected with education. There is the above 30 schools, high schools, and even a college around Europe with the Lauder schools. 10 years ago, Mr. Lauder started in IDC in Herzliya, the famous Lauder School for Diplomacy. 2 years ago, Minister Naftali Bennett, we opened with cooperation with University of Ben Gurion, the Lauder Employment Center in Be'er Sheva, which is fabulous. And I'm so happy that today we put our step here in the Technion. And I think that it's a combination. It's a combination of a couple of things. First of all, I think that it's a combination of a great president that the Technion have. I think that if you are taking all the presidents and all the leaders of all the academic institutions in Israel, if you compare with the results, in the end of the day, there is the result, there is the paper, how you manage the school in the end of the day. And I can tell you as a board member, and I can tell you that as a citizen of Israel, that this institute is, I think, first, the best situation of economical situation. And if you compare with other universities, I think that it's the distance between them and the Technion, it's like sea and desert. And I think that this is the right time to say to you, Professor Lavie, that Ronald asked me to tell you that he admire you. It's honor to me to say thank you about all what you are doing here in the Technion with your leadership. And in the end of the day, it's not the one-off, it's the best academic institution in Israel. And thank you on behalf of everybody. Thank you. Second, you know, if we are speaking about atmosphere, I can tell you that as a father for 4 kids, that all of them are in schools, high schools, some of them just finished, that if we are speaking about atmosphere, I think that we have the best Minister of Education since Israel became as a state. And I'm telling you this as the former CEO of the parliament. I think, you know, we're always dealing with politics, good, bad, you know, but sometimes there is a time to say good word. And I think Naftali, as a father, as a parent, and as a citizen, thank you. I really, and not only me, I really think that part of the atmosphere is that some strong leader like you took this ministry, and you are really, in my point of view, and you are not my boss, and you are not paying my salary, that we are so proud that after so many years, we have a Minister of Education like you, really. So, we are so happy to start our new projects here in Haifa, in one of the most beautiful cities in Israel, with a great mayor, Yona Yahav, that came from Jerusalem. And really, again, in behalf of the Lauder family, I want to thank you all. I want to thank, again, Professor Lavi, Boaz Golani, that I work with you all this time. Thank you so much. And good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Balashnikov. Now I have a great pleasure of introducing you some of our talented musicians who are, needless to say, of course, students of the Technion. They will perform the song My Way by Frank Sinatra in honor of Mr. and Mrs. Lauder. Please welcome the singer Daria Gelfand, Pavel Shon on the saxophone, and Meir Yosef Cohen on the guitar.
Is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I've been off more than I could chew, but through it all, when there's a doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I tasted all and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man, what he has got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way.
So yeah, we don't just dance, we also sing. And just so you know, we're in the first ranking in the sports in Israeli Universities League. I want to thank you, Daria, Pavel, and Meir, for your wonderful performance. And again, I'd like to invite, you can give applause, big applause. Again, I invite the lovely dance group for another performance. before closure, I would like to thank the following people for the work that they have done here. The architects of the project, Yael and Yaron Granot. To the head of the Technion's Development and Maintenance Division, Mr. Erez Eisner and his wonderful team. To everyone who took part in this project in the financial division, to the project manager from the Berishovsky office, Mr. Ronen Sarusi. The Basad Bnia company workers, Mar Wafi Nicola, Mr. Samir Michel, and Mr. Elias Tanos. And I'd like to thank you all for coming. This concludes our ceremony, and I invite you all to our next program, the ceremony in the Taub Computer Science Building. Thank you very much, and have a good day.